Oh my god, please play something. You can be like the intro.
Oh, you're just looking. I was like,
I just washed my hands. Look what this dum dum did. Oh my god. Just make sure you caught this. Be careful, there's some paint on the walls, don't leak.
I'm Claire Kovacs. I'm the Curator of Collections and Exhibitions at the Binghamton University Art Museum, and I'm the organizer for the BUAM David Hammons Artist in Residence program. So, trying to get over to spool.
I have a workshop video.
This program came into being when we were thinking about borrowing the David Hammons Untitled assemblage from Art Bridges as part of our planning around the Ed Wilson exhibition that took place in fall of 2023. Why Hammons is so interesting, and I think such a great artist for our students to be engaging with, is that he questions most everything, and I think that that's a really important framework for students to engage with. There's two works on view right now in Street Specific, which is the exhibition that is curated by Tom McDonough. The first is the Untitled assemblage that we have borrowed from Art Bridges. It is the product of Hammons' many walks throughout New York City, where he often will collect materials. And so the assemblage is made up of a series of frying pans, a tire that has been opened up, and then a series of necklaces. And Hammons has created this assemblage so it lives hanging off the walls, and it actually starts to look like a human figure. And so that is the first piece. And then the second piece is Phat, which is a video work that records Hammons kicking a bucket in New York City.
I think it's one of the more interesting pieces I've seen, specifically within the realms of performance, because it is a very old, grainy video of just like, if you don't know Hammons, he's just this guy who's just like walking around, kicking like buckets in the middle of like the street. Like I imagine some like a person is just like about to drive by and be like, what's this person doing? Like he has no idea what he's doing at all. I don't know, it's like very whimsical in a way that I appreciate. I think Hammons also likes to play with just like this expectation of what is normalized. He understands that a lot of art is not necessarily what's there, but the social practices that elevate something to art. And I think something that I sort of admire within David Hammons is his ability to play with people's expectations, to understand that art is like something that's constructed through those relations. And I think first and foremost, any of his works will take advantage of that. Whether it's the fact that he was selling snowballs on the street and he was like, yeah, that's art. Or the fact that he would come into galleries and not put up stuff until the last day. He kind of makes the art world his playground. And I don't think there's a lot of people who can do that.
Maybe I'll do it a bit zoomed out so that I can... Okay.
Hello, test 1, 2, 3. Binghamton University Art Museum, Artist in Residence. Hi, my name is Fahim Rahman. I'm a Bangladeshi interdisciplinary artist from Bronx, New York. I'm really interested in the digital mediums and seeing how to combine them with physical media, trying to kind of integrate those two. That's how I really work my best. As an immigrant, that American dream is kind of what everyone is chasing, what everyone values, and it is a really important part of my work. As artists, we kind of have this responsibility that we don't often notice, is that how we are representatives of our culture, our community, our artist community, this program. And I do want to be a good representation of everything who I am and kind of serve as inspiration for others. Show that I do have a place within the artistic world and let other people know that, like, yes, you and your work deserve to be heard and to be seen.
Wow, that made me dizzy. I'm wearing a wire.
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Bryan. I'm 21 years old. I'm a senior here at Binghamton University. I'm from the Bronx originally. Main medium is music, but I dabble in things like poetry, sculpting. I'm really all over the place. I come from a Dominican household, so there's always music going on, like bachata playing and things like that. Music is definitely a thing that brings people together, so I love performing with others. I love when there's a product and we're just workshopping with other people. That's definitely my favorite part. When I create work, I don't like telling people the message I put into it. I like people to find their own message in it. I think that's kind of the fun of art. Everyone has different interpretations. Even though I write something, I might have a specific message, I never like to share that. I like to see what people have, so.
Okay.
It's fresh. My name is Santiago Parra. I'm 23 years old. I was born and raised in New York City. I'm a first-generation Colombian, and my work consists of sculpture, sound, and image manipulation. It's always been really fun for me to play around and find things by beating the material to death. I was raised in New York City, but I went to Colombia every summer up until I was around 12. Being raised in both of those places not only taught me what it meant to be Colombian or just to be Latino in general, but also how that's perceived in America, in how my culture plays a role in the greater New York community. I try to bring those ideas of city life, community, and memory and culture with whatever work that I do.
Each other at the beginning, and then we really dove in the spring semester, and so we have been meeting weekly and learning about Hammons, both from our exhibition and then also thinking about David Hammons' other work, looking at that through documentaries, through writing, through exhibitions, and really digging into Hammons' creative practice and talking about ways that the student artists and residents can use that to build the work that they'll be creating for our exhibition.
I have 3 projects that are kind of the main focus of my work, some larger than others. I wanted to make this large tapestry mural and then also do a video and then also make kind of this final large print. So I think those 3 are very, very different kind of aspects of my own work, and I think the point is how to make everything connect together.
Why? That would think. Yeah. What's your video?
It's called Pilgrimage. I'm editing it right now. It's my immigration experience from Bangladesh to the US, but repurposed into a pilgrimage from my old apartment in Queens to my new house in the Bronx. And then I trailed that whole pathway through the subway system and major childhood locations that I passed through. And then I talk about my story while phasing in clips of my childhood that are found within the same camcorder that I took that video with. So
That's beautiful.
I'll just use some of it. Well, for my work, I've been kind of toying with the idea of like lens and our senses, and particularly the sense of sight and all that comes with it. And so David Hammons really inspired me to kind of really look into my community and how my community has such a very specific way of viewing things. One of my works, I think, is kind of one of the main focal points is my tapestry mural, which that's kind of our view into the moment of immigration.
You're not on camera right now.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry.
Well, here's a little preliminary sketch we have going on. To get large enough fabric for my purposes, we had to source them from Joann's, which I think was particularly interesting because They have typically the type of fabrics you use in like quilts, saris, and kind of see what this like Western store views fabrics from my identity. So I kind of try to match these as closely as possible. I think everything that
Once this dries, I should be able to rub away the paper from behind, and I'm left with a piece of gel. That's my little cousin, Violeta. I chose these pictures because they were about the more mundane things in Colombia. Almost like they could be taken anywhere, but when all the pictures are together, when you see the whole installation together, they're connected in that way. The sculpture, I'm making a sculpture of a hummingbird. Didn't even know hummingbirds existed in Colombia until a few years ago, and I wanted to wrap up cameras because they look so suspicious and narcotic when they're wrapped up in that box form.
And how'd you come up with the idea?
Baking powder, baking soda. I was vacuum sealing styrofoam before, but too many people were asking me why styrofoam. So I took that as a note that my message wasn't getting across the way I wanted it to. So I just thought about what else would get that message across, and I landed on baking soda. So now I want to weigh it. I want to know its weight in grams. 271 grams. I gotta write that down somewhere.
I knew I instantly wanted to incorporate the voice of Binghamton. I wanted that somehow to play a role in what I was doing. And the way I'm doing that is I'm conducting interviews currently to what Binghamton students think about diversity on campus, and how that compares to where they grew up. And I kind of want to use that to influence music that I'm writing.
Is this one of your molds?
For the second part of my project, I'm making molds of people from different ethnic backgrounds, because typically when you think of molds and sculptures, you kind of think of ancient Greeks, these buff white men. I'm trying to dispel that a bit. So I'm having people write phrases from their culture in black light ink, and then the molds will be put in a dark room, and you flash a black light flashlight around the room and see all these phrases from all these different cultures.
That is sick. Exhibition and
Yes.
the other part?
So I'm doing the music for the exhibition, so I hired a small jazz combo consisting of piano, drums, bass, alto saxophone, flute, and tenor saxophone, and they're recording 3 short songs that are going to be played on loop. Also, there's another song consisting entirely of interviews that I've done on campus, so I'm taking segments from those interviews and creating a song out of that.
So the students are making work over the course of beginning in the fall semester, working through the spring semester. The students themselves will also be hosting a series of workshops that...
I want purple.
Let's try again. Green, blue, yellow, pink.
Yellow. Where are we supposed to go?
Okay, here you go.
Thank you. This sounds so much better.
Wow.
Just explain your workshop.
Yeah. My workshop is twofold. So one, I want the people in the arts to kind of get a mixed feel for like wearing different hats and exploring different mediums, because a lot of times here, especially in Binghamton, when you're doing one thing, you're like on your own doing that thing. So I want to give people an opportunity to do different things and explore different mediums, and to kind of level the playing field of like, oh, well, I'm not good at that. These are all kid materials. Look, it's kid scissors. We got some kid instruments. And 2, I think it's fun to just, get some stuff and play around and let your inner kid run wild.
Very David Hammons. No explanation needed.
No explanation needed.
What are we making over here?
I'm fucking up QR codes. I don't know. This is my Binghamton experience in a nutshell. My masterpiece.
Ooh! Are you proud?
Yeah, it's a purple beach, I guess.
You should try writing another one. That was perfect. I love being a kindergarten teacher.
I actually was a teacher. And later on, we were also doing that workshop. And so I thought it'd be really interesting to kind of add this other facet of my work within that workshop. integrate that into the exhibition. It's something that I'm really interested in.
26 to 28, 2024. The opening reception is on the 26th. The exhibition hours are on the 27th to the 28th. Any work you make here, I will put in the exhibition, so yay. Essentially, this prompt is you split them into groups. Each person gets 1 or 2 frames for a total of 4 frames, and you choose an animation over those 4 frames, and you make some sort of movement that represents the prompt.
I'm gonna go around and ask people what they're doing. What are you doing, Fiona?
I'm cutting out these houses, which would be part of the landscape.
Wow.
I am currently cutting out some pipe dream newspaper, and then I found some stickers I liked, and I'm just changing up the silhouettes.
I'm cutting out some bug stickers, and I'm using old stone, well, I don't know about old, but stone buildings.
I kind of wanted you guys to figure it out yourselves. That sounds bad, but it's I kind of want to see how you guys interpret movement through collages, and then as we go through, I want to go around with Fiona and help you guys out if you guys have any questions or.
Yep, that's it.
Have fun. Any questions?
I want to do one with the tank top and then this. Isn't this fire? It was $3. It's for spray painting.
Like illegal spray painting?
No, This workshop is a printmaking workshop, but we're using David Hammons' body print style. To the extent of my knowledge, the process that we did in the workshop was pretty true to the way Hammons did it. We douse a section of our body or a fabric with baby oil. You print that onto a sheet of paper, and we get some tempera paint, which is just powdered paint. Pour the pigment onto the sheet, and once you have enough, you blow it all off, and what's left is your print on the sheet of paper. What you think is going to be printed on the sheet of paper once you put the back of your hand or the side of your hand isn't always what you think it's going to be. So that abstraction of the human body and of what's actually getting printed, I think, was really interesting. Another thing, actually, is the use of fabric in Hammons prints, and that's something I also wanted to bring to the table to this workshop and have other students explore. I had a lot of fun.
And the exhibition itself will take place at Spool Contemporary, which is a contemporary art space in Johnson City, which is part of the greater Binghamton area. And it was important to me to think about ways that we can bring this work outside of the walls of the museum and think about how we can engage other spaces in the community. And I thought that Spool was does fantastic work and is a space that is really a great fit for the project that we're doing.
This air team, Dahlia, Ellie, Bryan, Fahim, and Santi for their commitment to this project over the last 6 months. So thank you all. I'm
Hope to do this program again, or actually, can you first talk about what you want to see out of this program?
Yeah. So one of the things that I think is really great about this program is that it's interdisciplinary, and as we are launching the School of the Arts here at Binghamton University, I'm really proud of the way that this residency is embodying that interest in interdisciplinarity. But I would like to envision what might be possible, thinking about this as a pilot program or just the seed of an idea that can continue into the future at the university. Did I get that? I'm left, excited about what's coming, and it is one of those one of the bright spots in my work these days. So yeah.
What happened?
We went, we scrapped, we yard. Now we go home and eat. They weren't a fan of our greatness. I think they're kind of intimidated by us.
Yeah, they said we couldn't record.
They're kind of scared of us.
Because
of what we stand for and what we do. And
what do we stand for?
They can be scared all they want. We stand for freedom. Freedom of expression. He gets it.
100%.
100% right there. We're real ones.